Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul channel, and I do have a new topic for today, but before I begin I wanted to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And some people I thank and will always continue to thank who have inspired me on my journey, and I hope they can inspire you as well. And I will have links below this video so you can check them out. They are Rabbi Shalom Arush, Rabbi Lazer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rabbi Alon Anava, Rav Daniel Asore, Rav Yuval Ovadia, Nisim Baruch Black, David Sachs, and Rabbi Michael Skobac, Jews for Judaism. And again, if you've never watched this channel or seen these videos before, check out my first video, because there I explain what M.L.M means, and it stands for something different than the traditional M.L.M that people are familiar with. So today's going to be a little different topic. I'm actually recording this while it is still Pesach, but it is actually going to be posted afterwards, so I came up with a cute kind of a title, and since we don't have a real parasha, we read from the Torah, but on Pesach. So this is called, Are the Remnants of Chametz Still Visible? So even though Pesach is over, what does that mean? Well, first I'd like to read something to you from Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi's Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi. He has wonderful things on there. You should definitely check them out. I look at them every day. Of course not on Shabbat, but after. So I'll have a link, when my links, his Facebook page is on there. So I'm just going to read this to you because I actually really like it. Why the emphasis on Pesach to be Chametz free? On Pesach we're forbidden to own Chametz, which is leavened, I'm not going to say the word because it's Pesach, virtually any flour product not especially produced for Pesach, or have it in our possession. On the evening preceding Pesach there is a serious search of the home for Chametz. This is also why it is very important to purchase shmura matzah. Chametz represents arrogance, puffing up, quote. Passover is the time of freedom, spiritual freedom, which is the essence of why the Almighty brought us out of Egypt. As mentioned before, the only thing that stands between you and Hashem is you. To come close to the Almighty, which is the essence of life and the importance of every mitzvah and holiday, one must remove his arrogance. This is the lesson of removing the chametz from our possession. Freedom means having the ability to use your free will to grow and develop. People think they are free when really they are, quote, slaves to the fads and fashions of their society. Slavery is non-thinking action, rote behavior, following the impulses and desires of the body. Our job on Pesach is to come out of slavery into freedom. One of the freedoms to work on during Pesach is freedom of the mouth. Quote, freedom of the mouth. And of course after. It applies all the time. The sages view the mouth as the most dangerous part of the body. It is the only organ that can cause problems in both directions. What comes in, which is food and drink, and what goes out, which is speech. It is so dangerous, it is the only part of the body that has two coverings: hard teeth and soft lips. Most of us are slaves to the mouth, both in what we eat and what we speak. On Seder night we fix this. We have the matzah to speak about. The Jewish people, matzah, my faux pas, excuse me, we have the mitzvah. That was a little mess up there. We have the mitzvah to speak about the Jewish people leaving Mitzrayim to elevate speech, and the matzah and 4 cups of wine to elevate eating and drinking. But the mitzvah is matzah, so it's kind of funny that I said that, but okay. The structure of the Hebrew language hints at the goal of, quote, freedom of the mouth. Pesach can be divided into 2 words. Pesach, which means the mouth speaks. We are commanded to tell the story of the Exodus the whole night. The Hebrew word Pharaoh, or Paro, the persecutor of the Jewish people in the story, Pesach story, can be divided into 2 words. Ra, a bad mouth. Our affliction of the slavery in Mitzrayim was characterized as perach, difficult work, which can be read as 2 words. Perach, a loose mouth. May we all merit on this Pesach to free ourselves from the bad, quote, bad mouth and to overcome the, quote, loose mouth, where too much of the wrong food and drink come in and too many inappropriate words slip out. So this was from Aish's website, aish.com. So even though this is not going to be viewed till after Pesach, it's still appropriate because Pesach, interesting, the words actually hint at that. Pesach, Perah, and Paro, Perah, and Perach. And we have to really remember that. Now, Chametz, the reason I mentioned, the title are the remnants of Chametz still visible? Because when we talk about Chametz, there's two aspects to it and how I look at it. It's not just the physical, and I'm sure I read this from someone, a rabbi somewhere, I can't remember, but it's also the spiritual. What the idea is, we have to clear out all the toxicity. It's not just the food, the chametz, the stuff that we're not allowed to eat. We also have to clear out the other stuff. So that would be a good time, even like starting a month before when you're cleaning. Start to do some own introspection, some internal cleansing. Start thinking, talking to Hashem, thinking about what you need to do to clear out the toxicity, the negativity in your life. What you're doing that you maybe have to, people say they on Yom Kippur you ask for mechila, but why can't you ask it now? Say, you know what, I'm clearing out my chametz, but I also want to clear out my conscience. I just thought of that. I want to just clear everything out. There's no reason why you can't ask someone for forgiveness at any point in time. It has nothing, doesn't have to do with necessarily Pesach. It could be any time. Like, let's say immediately after you say something that you know wasn't okay, of course, tell Hashem, confess that you're sorry, and really work on trying not to do that anymore. And then tell the person, like, immediately apologize. Like, try to correct it right away. Don't wait too long, because then you forget what it is that you're trying to correct. Time does that to us. We don't remember those things. Time goes by. So that's why I say, are there remnants? There's still crumbs. There's still little spiritual crumbs that you have to work on. And what happens is, if you let them continue to grow and grow, they get very big, and it's harder to work on them when they're become like a mountain than if they're a small little, bit of dirt, so to speak. So you want to clean that out. This is a good time to do it. Any time is a good time to do it. Daily, it's good to do a daily, inspection, so to speak, of what's going on inside, like the internal stuff, not just the external, because that's what we have to really look at. What matters is what's going on inside. Of course, for Pesach, we have to clear out the physical chametz, but we also have to clear out the spiritual chametz. What's not serving us, what's not serving Hashem. We have to always remember we're here to serve Hashem. We're not here to serve ourselves. We have a purpose. We have a soul, so we have a purpose. We're not just here to just do whatever we please. That's what people have to understand. So make sure you're aware that that's something that we need to work on all the time in our lives. And once we do that, we'll be on a higher level, because what we're doing is we're not allowing the Yetzer Hara to have the control, because we're trying to overcome him. That's his purpose, is for us to overcome him and get rid of all that toxicity and get closer to Hashem. That's how we get closer. But the closer we get, the harder it gets. We get more challenges to doing what we do. And we have to continue to be strong. Just like, remember Yosef, when he was, Yosef HaTzadik in the Torah, when he was tempted by Potiphar's wife, all of a sudden, he was ready already. He was, ready to give in, but in the back of his mind, all of a sudden his father's voice came to him, and it stopped him. He was like, so we have to always think about our Father. Or let's say our Father, now we'll talk about our Father in heaven. Think about him, what he's seeing, and remember, this is not, my Father in heaven would not approve. So, don't do that. It's not beneficial for you. And it's going to come, unfortunately, to haunt you in Olam Haba when you have your day of judgment. You're going to see everything, and if you could stop yourself, that's going to correct it. You won't have to deal with it. And the other thing too, even when you confess a sin and do something wrong, when you say you're going to stop doing it, and you're going to correct it, and you're going to make tshuva, and all that kind of stuff also erases it. But you must do it right away. You must get rid of it immediately. So on the same time that you do it, you must regret it. So then it'll be wiped out from your account. So that's very helpful too. So I want to just say in closing that I hope and pray we will all elevate ourselves spiritually and get rid of that chametz that we don't need, that remnants that are still there, so that we can merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days, and the rebuilding of our third and final everlasting Beis Hamikdash. Amen, and thank you for watching.